Always capture on camera them counting the votes, and this one dummy, I don't know who it was, some liberal dummy, he couldn't even count. Then another conservative wanted to raise a question, and they blatantly said, no, you're not asking a question. Well, just a quick video this morning. It's Friday in Toronto, and you know, every time I go on YouTube or any sort of other social media, all that is coming out in the last week is the fact that in committee the Liberal government is shutting down transparency. They are taking a vote in committee. It's 4 times now, or 5 times, 4 for sure, where they vote on whether they're going to shut the cameras off in committee. Now, the cameras were installed in Parliament on Parliament Hill in 1977. Now, I don't know how long committee's been going, and I don't know how long cameras have been in committee, but it would appear with the undemocratic majority that the Liberals attained, it would appear they are using every communistic trait to circumnavigate transparency. And so yesterday, again, the Conservatives brought up the $200 million concrete pad that's probably about 2 inches thick in the middle of the woods, where you couldn't even transport, it'd be hard to get a tent in there, let alone a rocket capable of going into the orbit. So it was, they always capture on camera them counting the votes, and this one dummy, I don't know who it was, some liberal dummy, he couldn't even count the yays and the nays. It took him about 30-40 seconds to figure out the yays and the nays, and it was like 6-5, I believe. Can't quite remember, but I wasn't the one there counting either. So then another conservative wanted to raise a question, and they blatantly said, no, you're not asking a question. We're the communist tyrannical government now, and you're going to do exactly as you are instructed to do. So basically, the luring and the bribing and the blackmailing of the floor crossers are almost immediately paying communistic benefits. So now let me just say this. I don't have a whole lot of fire and brimstone in me this morning. Not for any particular reason. It's just some days, this is so disheartening, the way the liberal ideology in this country has no place for common sense or no place for critical thinking. Now, if this was a conservative majority and the conservatives went about it the way that the liberals did by, blackmailing, bribing liberals to cross the aisle to the conservatives, I would be very, very upset with Pierre Poilievre in doing so. Now, if Pierre Poilievre did the exact same thing the Liberals did under Carney's watch and lured 5 other MPs away to cross the aisle to give the Conservatives a majority, I would be doing a video right now asking for Pierre Poilievre to step down, because he indeed is a tyrannical dictator who wants to usher in communism. How else could it be misconstrued that this isn't what the Liberals are doing? I'd be completely ashamed of myself. Now, this is what separates good from evil. It's not the left and the right. It is good and it is evil. And I like to believe that I'm on the side of good. Now, the handful of liberals that get tripped up into watching my videos by mistake, obviously they're going to think, no, people like me are the evil ones. I understand where they come from. Like, I don't understand it, but I'm totally aware of their thought process. And if you're not by this point in the game, there is something mentally wrong with you. So the liberals are just going to continue shutting down questions, shutting down freedom of speech, shutting down alternative sources of media, including myself. They are going to push through and speed up the censorship laws with regards to the internet. A lot of people that do things like my channel, and I'm, like I said, I don't do it for money. I'm certainly not making a living from it. That's for sure. But I know the fringe out west in Alberta. I can see the fringe getting increasingly more worried, because he does use his channel to make a living, and almost every video now he is voicing his concerns that his channel is going to be shut down. Now, I'm glad I'm not at that point where I have to worry about that at all. So that's unfortunate. If you did decide to use YouTube as a source of sustainable income, like to support your family and your children and your mortgage and stuff, well, you know, you better have a plan B, because all you have to do is push a button and you're out of work. You're terminated. You're fired, as Trump would say. So, and that's where this is going. That's where Carney wants this to go. Carney doesn't like being asked questions. We all know that. He can't answer the questions properly, and he's a closeted, very closeted, angry person. So he's not used to having to answer questions. And when he does, you can see the true Mark Carney. You can see the inner workings of how he actually walks around on a daily basis. He's just, like I said in my videos before, he is just someone that has been fed with a silver spoon for 3-4 decades. You know, some of the best schools in the world. He travels within the Lizard underground royal circle. City guys driving by. They gave me a wide berth. That's pretty cool. No problem. I got no problem with these city guys. Anyhow, on a tangent. And you know, he's not someone that grew up like Pierre Poilievre. And you know, he's adopted, and you know, he had to, you know, sure, he's been a politician for over 20 years, but you know, he found a niche and he ran with it. And you know, once you get into that sort of lifestyle, you realize, you know what, this is a very cushy job. And I'm saying this for Pierre Poilievre too. They don't really work. All they do is go and in front of the media or in question period or in committee and just act like a bunch of little bitches. That's what they do. They act like lawyers, trained lawyers, and a lot of them are lawyers, and they are trained to to deflect onus, to lie, to cheat, and to steal. And over a long period of time in this industry, in this game, you become very good at it, and or not so good at it. And they're at the point now where they're not so good at it, but they have so many safeguards in place, it doesn't matter. They're doing it out in the open. They have the RCMP, they have CSIS, they have most levels of policing bought and paid for, so they don't have to worry about investigations. And if there are investigations that are going to come their way, they just put through legislation to stop it, and they're doing that now. Doug Ford's doing it. Mark Carney's doing it. The ethics commissioner right now, it was reported in the Toronto Sun, the ethics commissioner that is the checks and balances of the federal government, has come out and said, it's a woman, I'll put it up on the screen, she has come out and said that she has so many complaints with regards to the federal government right now, she can't even keep up. And that makes sense, right? They have so many conflicts of interest. It would appear that they are just doing deals on behalf of themselves, on behalf of their families, on behalf of their liberal cronies, on behalf of companies, Brookfield Asset Management being the name, being the key one, on behalf of shell companies, unsecured contracts. They just keep on throwing money. Like, I'm not even talking 100 G's, 200 G's now. I'm talking in the tens of millions of dollars. Like, there's no checks and balances, and I don't know what it's going to take. People say in my comment section, like, what are we going to do? Well, I'm gonna go on record and say it's going to take an uprising from the people. It is. I may have alluded to that many times in my videos, but I'm telling you, it's going to be something far more substantial than the trucker convoy in 2022. Now, am I going to be the leader of that? I highly doubt it. They are going to start rounding people like me up sooner than later, because they can't have people like me doing videos like this, because it will put the bug in patriotic people's ears, and people that are really desperate and destitute now because of financial issues, food issues, rent, whatever. There is going to be, they are going to leave us no choice but to go to Ottawa and demand change. Now, when I say that, you know, what kind of thing can we do in Ottawa? Like, what kind of change can we make in Ottawa? Well, read between the lines. I have some ideas, and if you watch my content, you'll probably understand some of my ideas. But like I said, I'm not going to be the leader of this movement, but I will be a part of it. I will guarantee you that. And the Liberal government and the RCMP, they already know that. Now, I'm pretty critical of policing as of late, whether it be the Toronto Police with their Project South scandal and other scandals. The Peel Regional Police are involved. I think 3 officers are involved in Project South. And the RCMP, they seem to be really corrupted, and they just turn a blind eye to whatever the Mark Carney Liberals do from a criminality standpoint. But 2 things. I didn't give my condolences to that OPP officer. I'll put his name. I think his first name's Brandon. He was a motorcycle cop for the OPP, Golden Helmet. He was a precision rider, very good motorcyclist, I would imagine. And he lost his life east of Toronto on the 401. They say it's a single vehicle accident. I don't know the circumstances, but regardless, he lost his life. As much as I'm not a fan of the police, like I said in my videos before, you know, when a cop goes to work, I want he or she to go home. And you know, whenever a cop goes down, as much as I have my differences with him, it is sad. It really is. I think his funeral's today, tomorrow, and you know, they'll have a police funeral for him, all the pomp and circumstance. And by all accounts, this guy was a pretty good guy, ex Canadian Armed Forces as well. So you know, I definitely respect that. But anyhow, I just want to give that officer Brandon, I don't know his last name offhand, a shout out. And I also want to give, if you can believe this, the York Region Police. You know, of all the police that, you know, I'm kind of aware of, like the Durham region, York region, OPP, RCMP, Toronto, it would appear that the York Region Police seem to be the most ethical. They seem to be the best of the worst, so to speak. So I just want to give a shout out to York Region. They seem like they don't get embroiled in too many scandals, or a lot less scandals. And I've dealt with York Region Police in my past, just having come across them in my earlier years. And you know, they're no nonsense kind of cops. They seem like they have a different culture out in York Region. For whatever reason, I could be way off base in saying this. This is just my personal feelings, and I don't even know why I'm saying it. But I'm just going to give the York Region Police a shout out, because they seem like they are the least corrupt police department in the Greater Toronto area at the very least. So I just wanted to say that. Another thing, apparently 2 other Liberal MPs are vacating their seats in federal Parliament. So Mark Carney's going to have to go to the slush fund, the many slush funds that he's creating, and go and bribe and blackmail and coerce more MPs from other parties across the aisle. I said in my video yesterday that one will be crossing next week. I don't know. I don't have information with regards to this. I'm just speculating, because he has to maintain his undemocratic majority, and he also has to cause more diversionary tactics, because the media and people like me and other YouTubers that are a lot larger than me are really bringing the smoke now, really putting the heat on this guy. And he is hemming and hawing more than he ever has in these interviews, and he is feeling the heat. But they are going to continue to be less transparent. They're going to continue to shut down people like me, the cameras, for example, putting through legislation so you can't investigate the records, you can't pull cell phone records, things like that. They are going full China communist dictatorship. And you know, as much as some people might think that's tinfoil hat sort of talk, it certainly isn't. People like me have been accurate to a very high degree for a very long time. And just to finish up, if I was a liberal, if I was a brain dead dimwit liberal that couldn't admit wrong or fault, I would be completely ashamed of myself with what the Mark Carney Liberals are doing to this country. Enjoy your Friday, and put in the comment section if you have anything to add to this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.